Oh,
Tucker, things just got a lot less exciting in the Big Brother house. America was extremely disappointed when you went home last night. So when you lost that AI arena, did you know your time was up?
yeah, I'd be a fool not to think that after all I did in there, competitive wise and game wise, but also there was still a little hope because of what I did do in there, being a pawn twice or three times, taking Quinn off the block, taking Angela off the block, giving T Core $5,000. I thought something's got to pay off. Not taking the Hawaii trip from Mackenzie, I was like, maybe, but I know I was a very appetizing target, and the second people in that house got a chance to strike, they would be fools not to if they did it. So,
Yeah. Well, you're such a comp beast that Julie and even people I was talking to at home, they were like, is he throwing this AI arena? Because it was so like unlike you. So what exactly happened there?
um, listen to the directions carefully, people. That's what happened there. I thought the numbers had to face the podium where all the numbered chips were, and that was supposed to face you as you were doing it. I had the whole thing mapped out in my head where the pieces had to go. And when I put one in and it didn't line up flat at the top, I was like, oh, what's going on? And at that point, it was already over. Unfortunately, I did not throw anything. I'm kicking myself in the butt for that because I love puzzles.
I did you
And
get to keep the unitard?
yes, and I will
Okay.
be biking around New York City in that unitard. I will be wearing it when you least expect it. Halloween's gonna be awesome. So
So we'll look up for that. Um,
yeah, come Halloween because they'll get it shipped after the show.
well, and you got 20 grand as America's instigator. So or
And
the
hopefully I'm America's sweetheart too. Ah,
what are you gonna do with that 20 grand? Like, are you gonna blow it on something fun, or are you one of those like financially responsible people?
I'm very financially responsible. My parents will tell you I have the first dollar I've ever earned, but I do have a few things in mind to spend the money on. This is my very handsome boy, Ziggy, and
Okay.
he's getting a big little brother. I'm going to get him a Doberman. So he's the bigger brother, but the little version. And so I'm getting him a pup so that when I leave again for a while, hopefully, he'll have another person to play with until Daddy gets home.
Well, you came in the game like playing pretty hard and fast. So, what do you think about that in retrospect? Were you too much of a bull in the china shop? Did you think that would sustain you to the end?
Yeah, I could have. That everyone was saying that it's a marathon, not a sprint, and I would say, yeah, but some people can sprint a marathon, and I know I could. It's unfortunate I didn't get to show you guys more of what I could do in there and what I had planned, but the only thing I would have done differently is not take Quinn off the block. I would have sent him home. I should have stuck with my gut with that. But again, at that moment, his all of his cards were on the table. He was scrambling to pick them up, and he scrambled and picked them up quickly. But Brooklyn was the bigger target. She was a great manipulator and deceiver in that house, and hats off to her. She was good, but I was onto her game, and I'm sure she is dancing at home right now that I'm
Yeah.
gone. So it's all
Well,
good.
I was gonna ask about Quinn. I mean, because he was like, "Oh yeah, you'll be fine." He couldn't wait to vote you out of there.
Oh, I
So,
know.
so what was it like to feel that way and just have that all come back on you like that?
It was incredibly frustrating at the time, but also good to know that my instincts were true about him all along. I mean, he put Rubina on the block and then all of a sudden got super close to her, and buddy and friends with her and Chemo. And they were just like, no, he really wants to work with you. And I'm like, no, he does not. The one thing he wants to do in this house is get me kicked out. I'm glad that it was more so my doing that got me out of the house and T-Core versus him. But yeah, he's very well versed in this game, and he is a big threat. And people are letting that go underneath their nose and not remembering all the things I said when I exposed his game. And he's got all of his cards in his hand again, and everyone in his back pocket. And it's a dangerous man in there.
How much fun was it blowing up people's games, like in those veto meetings? I mean, did you just like watching them squirm? Because it was really fun to watch for us.
Yeah, hey, I was in that seat a number of times, and I'm comfortable being uncomfortable, and a lot of people in that house are uncomfortable being uncomfortable. So I wanted to put them where I was and see how they reacted, because that says a lot about their gameplay. And the paranoia gets to the best of you in there, as I'm sure you all know with Angela. So
What was up with Angela? Like you sort of took her under your wing a little bit. You were
she wanted me to, and she needed somebody, and I was there
yeah.
for her. And then all of a sudden her speech is, I want to play this game for myself and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, no, you don't, because you cry and get sad anytime you walk in a room and people stop talking. When, just so you know, that happens to every single person in that house. Everyone's playing 2 or 3 or 4 different types of a game in there. There's 2 sides to the coin, and I had a continual reminder of that. And her paranoidness made her flip on me when I wouldn't have done that to her.
Well, I think you're gonna have some fun when you start seeing everything online. And there's great moments between you and Angela. One of with the AI instigator that I thought was hilarious is she's telling you how terrible the instigator is, like right to your face as you're in the pool. What were you thinking in that moment when she was talking about that?
I loved it. The fact that everyone was talking down on it to me made me think that they weren't suspicious of it. They were just like, man, if I had this, these jokes would be funny. If you had it, it would be hilarious. And I'm just like, well, I'm not trying to write it as if it's me. Then it just makes it so obvious, you guys. I was trying to write it as other people in there. And I mean, it paid off, baby. So I can't complain, but it was very funny. And maybe I shouldn't have been so truthful with her and tried to tell her about it, because that's what started her campaigning against me.
Well, and the first one made Rubina cry, so that sort of backfired on you.
Yeah, that one hurt very, very much. And Rubina, again, I am so sorry. We had a lot of talks about wanting like whether we just say screw it and let people know or not, because that people hearing that news without it being confirmed can really extra push people. So my whole intentions with that was just to clear the air and let it be known so that we can have a clearer mind in playing this game and not worry about this relationship on top of it. And in the end, it felt better, but that was the saddest, hardest thing to see her that sad and to know I was responsible for it.
Well, hopefully she's able to navigate the game without you. And who do you think is her best bet to go alongside?
Chemo.
Chemo. All right, Rubina.
Chemo.
Chemo.
Rubina and Chemo, they got good intentions, but they got good intentions, great game coverage. Rubina is incredibly strong and underestimated in there. And Chemo is incredibly observant. And they both have really good social games, but they also, that their social game will be could be the end of them because they super trusted Quinn and I never did. And he put her on the block and she forgot about it within a couple days.
Well, we got to go. Tucker, so much fun to watch you this season. Congratulations on everything. And hopefully you're America's player and get a little more rewards. We'll see what happens.
Come on, America! I'm trying to play this game to its full potential like no one else ever has. Not even intentionally. I'm just being me. To thine own self be true. The best gift is the gift of experience. I hope you guys have learned from that and you're more confident in just being who you are, because that's the beauty in life.